You might have heard of dopamine, especially in recent years, whether it's in conversations around you, in the news, or maybe you briefly even touched on it in your science class. Well, let me tell you something. Dopamine literally runs this world, especially in the modern day in which we live. Buckle up, folks. I'm about to explain how this powerful neurotransmitter is running your own personal life, and how if you don't control it, things could get out of hand and turn ugly quite quickly. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. What this means is that it's a chemical messenger which sends brain signals from one part of the brain to other parts of the brain. It also plays a vital role in the body's feel-good system. It does this by helping to regulate mood, improve motivation, enhance learning, and keeping attention high. So all of these incentives which dopamine brings makes us crave it, but we will save this for later on in the video. Dopamine is made from tyrosine, a type of amino acid. Therefore, eating more foods which contain tyrosine could help boost dopamine production levels in the brain. Not only this, but a diet rich in tyrosine has added benefits such as improved memory and improved mental performance. Some foods which are high in tyrosine include chicken, bananas, pumpkin and sesame seeds, and avocados. Other foods as well which include this powerful amino acid include yogurt, milk, and cheese, but I don't really recommend these, especially for males, as these can help boost estrogen production while hindering testosterone production, and ideally that's not what we would want. So I recommend to stick away from these when possible and focus on the chicken, avocado, pumpkin and sesame seeds, and bananas. You have probably heard that anything in excess is bad, no matter how good it is. Well, dopamine is no exception. Imbalances in this vital neurochemical could lead to negative effects on not only mental but also physical health. If your dopamine levels are too high, you could hinder your impulse control, and in turn, this could lead to impulsive behaviors and aggressive action. In worst case scenarios, this could lead to regrettable decisions and conflict in social settings. Additionally, there is a whole range of mental health disorders which are associated with high levels of dopamine. The most notable one being schizophrenia. This is when you start forgetting aspects of your life and your identity, and some even worse symptoms include hallucinations and losing a grip with reality. On the contrary, low dopamine levels can be devastating. This is because it can lead to a decrease significantly in your energy and motivation levels, which are vital for your performance. This can get even worse as it can bleed into other emotions such as sadness, lethargy, and an inability to experience pleasure. Just think about that for a second. You cannot experience pleasure. Simple, basic, essential aspect of what makes you a human. Actually take a moment to reflect on this. If you lack energy and if you lack motivation, then how are you going to get things done? The important things which need doing throughout the day. This is why I hear so often say that successful people are high energy people, because this is a required trait. It is an essential. Not only this, but believe it or not, you would also be repelling other positive experiences from your life. In worst case scenarios, when your dopamine levels are low, but I'm talking really low, this could lead to movement disorders, such as Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is characterized by depleted dopamine stores, which in turn can cause body tremors, stiffness, and impaired movement control. Now, I know for a fact that at least 95% of people watching this video have either TikTok, Instagram, or both installed on their mobile device. While the majority of you would argue that it has no harm being on your phone, neurology and basic logic, when you think about it, would disprove that. Think about it. 100, no actually, not even that, 50 years ago, you think your grandfather was indoors scrolling video after video watching funny dogs? Or do you think he was outdoors chasing real organic dopamine, doing activities which not only enhanced his physical health but also improved his mental well-being? The answer is clear. You know this. For the first time in human history, we have short dopamine bursts in our pocket, which means that every 2 seconds which we scroll a video, we get a little dopamine burst from comments, from likes, from all these little aspects which these companies put in place to manipulate all the strings. So this is what you spend most of your time doing. So you stay a consumer. And it gets even scarier. Our brains are not adapted to receive small dopamine hits every 2 seconds. So what do you think comes after that? Studies have shown that this single activity can increase the aging of our brain significantly. Hence the term brain rot. Think about it. You are literally rotting your brain as you scroll away. The rate at which it ages is increasing rapidly. So while your 30-year-old grandpa would have had the brain of a 30-year-old, you are getting to the point where if you get to 30 years of age, you would have the brain of a 60-year-old or an even older person. That should scare you. And don't think scrolling is the only activity which significantly damages your dopamine system. There are a whole bunch of activities which will absolutely devastate your dopamine and your dopamine levels and your brain's reward system. Activities like porn, eating large, greasy foods and meals, and binge watching series. These are just some examples of massively devastating activities which you can do and mess up your mental health and your dopamine. Now, if you take alcohol or do drugs, oh, you're in big trouble, because these are the activities which bring the absolute most amount of dopamine in the fewest amount of seconds. This is detrimental because your brain is absolutely not designed to cope with such an insane hit of dopamine in such a short amount of time. So you statistically will suffer much more if you don't quit now. But luckily, not all hope is lost. Actionable steps can be taken to ensure you don't live a life where you are a dopamine rat, chasing every little bit of energy and pleasure which you can find. If you make healthy tweaks to your lifestyle, then you can be on your way to restoring your dopamine levels to a healthy level, and your brain's reward system will massively think. I'm going to give you two drastic ways in which you can absolutely help revitalize those new dopamine levels. First way being, put an app timer on your social media apps. There'll be 30 minutes max per day. In addition to this, you can put all your apps on grayscale, because this is proven to decrease your screen time. And screen time is one of the factors which affects your dopamine production. It increases dopamine, and that dopamine is artificial and is just not good for you. So by limiting the app time, you limit your screen time overall, and that makes an overall positive net impact. The more extreme version of this being deleting all your social media and going on a full-on detox. Now, this is where the magic happens. This is a refreshing experience. And you can hear lots of podcasts with lots of celebrities, people like Elon Musk. These people don't have social media on their phone, because think about it. You're watching other people live their lives. Not only this, but a lot of the time, a false version of reality is portrayed in front of, and the gap between who you want to be, which is like the people on Instagram which you see all the time, who you actually are, is too big. That causes internal conflict, and that's not good to be seeing this every day, because then it's just going to lead to procrastination, you feeling sorry for yourself. That's not the aim. Most people can't use the app responsibly. I personally don't have it. I've just noticed that whenever I don't have it, I feel much happier and much more productive, and it just leads to a net positive impact on my life. Maybe you're different, I don't know. But in my own experience, not having it on my phone is just the best option. Now, I want to caveat this and say that if you are posting content, it's different. The aim is not to be a consumer, but to be a producer. When you're consuming, you're getting the dopamine hits every 2 seconds. When you're producing, you're getting a dopamine hit from doing work. That's the aim. The aim is to get a feeling of reward from doing work, so that you can increase your output, your productive output, instead of just consuming and not doing anything. Another lifestyle change, which is extremely simple and anyone can implement, is exercising and receiving natural sunlight. As simple as it may be, I know so many people that fail to do this. And you're not meant to do it a couple of days a week. Ideally, you want to train and get sunlight every day whenever possible. If you see a good day, a sunny day, for example, in the UK, you should be out whenever you can. Your lunchtime, your break time, get that sunlight into your eyes. It helps with natural dopamine production. Exercising is essential for good, natural, organic dopamine production. Not only this, but when you exercise, endorphins are released into your body. This is the chemical that makes you feel happy, makes you feel fulfilled. So why wouldn't you want to be exercising? You're going to feel better, you're going to be healthier, and you're going to be stronger, fitter, faster, more attractive. No negative, all positive. You don't have to spend longer than an hour at the gym. You don't have to spend longer than 15 minutes in sunlight. These are small sacrifices which you can make, and you shouldn't even see them as sacrifices, because they are contributing to the greater good of your life. Those are two very basic lifestyle changes which you can make, but I promise the impact which they will have on your life, if you take them seriously, will be drastic. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep your dopamine levels safe, extremely vital in anyone's life, especially in the day and age in which we live. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.